All right, we're live.
Okay, and on March 15th, he said, like, it can spread if you don't show symptoms. So I don't know who wrote his speech, because if you watch any of his stuff, he's, like, barely able to read the fucking teleprompter.
A lot of big words in there, man.
Yeah, but so, like, honestly, whoever wrote the speech just said, our projections are looking a lot worse than just with social distancing. We need to step it up. I think that would have been a reasonable thing to say. Not, we didn't know you could spread it without showing symptoms. That's been known information. The CDC is 30 minutes from your fucking front door, man.
Traffic is hell, man.
There is no traffic. There is no traffic.
How's things at your store, Steven? Like, did it calm down about a week or so ago and then ramp back up?
They now that the lockdown was announced, what was it? Not on late Wednesday. It was announced. They ran the store Thursday, and I'm assuming they ran it today. It probably isn't as bad as when the Trump and Forrest Gump NBA thing how it happened the same day, but they were going to buy all my milk. I could tell, and I was just going to had already, I think the warehouse might have laughed at me when I ordered a bunch of milk and they sent me purple. But you know what? The customers are buying freaking 1% purple tomorrow. That's what they're going to
You're saving lives, man, by making them drink healthier milk.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the things that no one's buying skim milk still, and no one's buying turkey sausage. You can go in and get as much turkey sausage as you want, and you can go get your skim milk.
Oh, that's like my diet consists of like protein bars and Halo Top ice cream. Those things ain't selling out anytime soon. Nobody wants that. They're like, no, give me that Edie shit. And it's like, okay, whatever. But no, I was wondering because like here, it got to the point where like the one down the street, it got almost back to normal. Like about a week or so ago, like you could just tell you're like, oh, there's no rush on toilet paper. There, I mean, you could pretty much find everything you wanted.
Wow, that would be ridiculous to have toilet paper on the shelf.
Yeah. It was like the Walmart grocery store right down the street. I went in there the other morning to grab some protein bars and energy drink. I mean, they had like 4 pallets of toilet paper sitting there. Of course, they're still doing like, 2 per customer, but like they had every freaking brand. The bread aisle was completely stocked. But I noticed on the way home, like that Wednesday or Thursday, it was like, holy crap, it looked like a madhouse. And I was like, I bet you after that, everybody lost their freaking mind again.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And there'll be many more. There'll be many more. As, the latest cool news shows up. Got to go and freaking buy all the bacon there is because we're fucked. Just, and the grocery store is the only place you can go. Everything is closed. So let's go get the whole family because you can make your kids buy the extra to get past the limit or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and the thing about here is like
That's
everybody
gross.
freaked out. But like, really, actually, for us, it's like it's just another day of status quo because like most everywhere had already shut down. Like Advance, like auto parts, AutoZone, all those are staying open still. Grocery stores, Walmarts are staying open. Pharmacies, pretty much everywhere, like restaurants that have curbside to go, all those places were kind of already the only things you could go do now anyway. And so after the shutdown, they were like, those places stay open. So it's almost like nothing changed at all. So it was just funny to see people freaking out. Like today at the bank, there was like 30 people at the ATM. I was like, do they think they're shutting the bank down? I mean, it was crazy.
I mean, I don't know, dude.
Are you going to do a one in, one out policy, do you think, Steven? Because they're doing that at some Walmarts.
There's a Home Depot. I know they're doing that. That would have been at the store's discretion, but at my particular chain, whatever, that's going to be handled at a corporate level to tell the store what to do. But I could very much see that you're going to have freaking Miss Elizabeth going to be up front, with her thermometer, and you can't get in this damn store without the temperature once they go that way, because there's been states and countries. I think China is like that you have to get your temperature taken before you can go into these places. And if you look at how many damn people there are, does that not make damn sense? There was a lady the other day, I was out there just stocking yogurt, and she's just coughing up a fucking lung over there on the pepperoni. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I just went to the back, and I just going to stay back there. I know the poop cough is going to stay in the air, but I didn't even want to be with her. Let her go die on her own time. But apparently she wants to die in my store. I'm like, what the hell, man?
She don't want to die at home alone. You should be like, comforting her and stuff. She's like, I'll be alone if I'm at home and I die. But
well, I feel bad because like allergies are kicking my ass. Like
Yeah,
I
mine
just have
too.
like I haven't like just an itchy throat and a cough, and like it's like I've had it for basically 3 weeks. I ended up having like a sinus infection when this thing like kind of kicked off, and I went to the doctor like on the 15th or 16th. Scariest fucking thing I've ever done in my life, man. And this was before it went bad.
Yeah.
Like they like I walked into the wrong building, and they were having none of it, man. They were like,
Get your ass out.
yeah, no, they were like, do you know where you need to be? Like they were checking for temperature. They were doing like everything. And like they ended up saying like I had a bacterial sinus infection. Like I didn't have a dry cough. I was coughing up like just mucus stuff.
Now, did you get a steroid shot?
No, they gave me an antibiotic.
Yeah, because I don't think they're supposed to be giving you steroid shots. There's something that I think it opens up passages or something is what they believe. Yeah. So it's like, okay, the main reason I would go to the doctor for a sinus infection would to get that damn shot so you feel like $1 million. It's like, well, they're not going to give it to you. So I'm just living off of Zyrtec, man. I'm a zombie.
No, dude, when I got to the building I was supposed to get in, they handed me a mask, and 2 people walked in and said they had fevers, and I was like, "Fuck this!"
It's like this could be even worse. It's like, you know what? I'll just stay at home.
I put myself at more risk by trying to take care of myself.
That's like it's been kicking up here, and I work outside, so it's like I just been living off Sudafed. It's like just because it's like you don't want to go to the doctor, and you don't want to cough or sneeze around anybody because they give you the freaking stink eye as soon as you do.
Yeah, boy.
So you're just like holding it in, It's like ridiculous.
Just say no proto.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, it's like I know it's just freaking pollen because I just got done blowing a parking lot covered in yellow pollen. I know that's why I'm sneezing. So it's just, but you're like, whatever. But the limit thing here, Lowe's and Home Depot have it where it's like 50 people in at a time, and then you have somebody standing by that door, 1 in, 1 out. Ace Hardware has a 10 limit thing because I had to go there today to get some keys made, and it's like 1 in, 1 out, 10. The gas station I went to this morning was a Circle K. They had that posted, and I looked in the door, and I think there was about 75 people in that gas station. So I don't think they were taking it seriously, but they did have it posted on the window. But it's so funny though, because the places I've gone that I see that, it'll be like 1 in, 1 out. And there'll be a line of like 50 people that are basically 1 inch away from each other. So I'm just like, does this really freaking matter at this point? I mean, if somebody in that line's got it, all of you got it now. So it's ridiculous. I mean, you ought to have seen it at the gun store. The gun store around the corner from here has it where it's a big shooting range gun store. And it's like 1 in, 1 out, 10 people. And it's like the line goes all the way down the side of the building. They might as well be making out with each other. They're so freaking close. So it's like, whatever.
I'm sure Stoddard and Douglasville is crazy right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Carrollton's a hot spot, or at least it was. I don't know. The AJC thing that I linked to you, Chad, has a little map. You can click on it. It tells you like how many counties got and all that stuff. What would you have? 5,400 this morning? I didn't even look at the 7 p.m.
I think it was last time I looked. I think we still have like 30 something here. Well, I knew Fort Benning being so close. I was like, that's a training military base. It's like one of the biggest in the country. I was like, somebody's gonna come in with that. There's no way that somebody doesn't come in there from around the country. So, but I think we're still at like 30. But they just started like at some point like a week ago. They started doing the thing where you can do the drive up testing. So it's like as soon as those tests come back, I'm sure that in that 30 will probably shoot up to like something ridiculous just because they're testing more now.
Well,
I didn't know if you guys had that around there or not. That the drive up.
I haven't heard about that. So
they got it here. There's like a big church here. It does. It's like you drive up, you open the window like 6 inches, and they shove a thing in your mouth, and then they put it in a tube and tell you to get the hell out of there, basically. And it's like, you're not allowed to get out of your car, and you have to meet like one of the requirements to even be tested. It's like if you have a dry cough, a fever, or something else, and it's like you have to at least have something of those 3 to basically be like, we're not wasting this on, granny smoker cough.
Taco shits.
It's like, it's like, hey man, it's like how much longer could they got? Let's save this for one of these younger kids. But
I mean, are they offering baker's buckets as you leave?
I don't know, man. It's just funny. I saw it. They were talking about it on the news today, and it's just like apparently they've got it all. And it's like you can't go into area with the cars, and you just drive up. I did see something really cool on a sign today at one of the churches we cut, though. It was real funny. It was like, watch us live stream on like PBS, and so you don't have to come to church, and make sure you give 15% or 10% of your stimulus check when it comes in. And I'm like, damn, that's ballsy as hell. And it's like, just put it out there on Front Street of like, we need 10% of that.
You gotta pay for that streaming, okay?
See, the thing is though, is I was like, dude, man, I can't believe churches hadn't started this up of like, hey man, we're only asking for like 9%. It's like, wouldn't that be like the best idea? You just be like, we know all these other churches are asking 10, and in this times of strife, we're only asking for 9.
God won't look down on you if you cut it down to 5%. Look,
that's just too ridiculous. Like, you wouldn't want to like mess up the market with 5%. The church mafia would probably come after your ass. They'd be like, look, we have standards. You can't go below 8. That's just an unwritten rule. And then some like Mexican church would probably come in and start at like 4.5 or something, and everybody would be fucked after that. It'd be chaos and civil war without end. Got to think about these things when you know. They got to have their money,
So to try to get back on the topic, there's basically 2 things I want to talk about. We'll talk about Last of Us. We've all played it, right?
Yes.
I have. I about to say, I didn't know if Bryan had or not, but
no, that was like the first PS4 game I bought. Like, I waited to play it until I got a PS4.
I did the same thing. I didn't even play it on PS3, but when I got a 4, I was like, I gotta get. It's like one of those you hear it's good, and you're like, I should check it out, and it's good. I liked it. It's real fun.
So we'll talk about that, and then Doom Eternal.
Or Arachnotron Eternal.
Arachnotron Eternal. Did you play 2016, Chad? I can't remember.
Yeah, I never did finish it. It was one of those I put it down, and by the time I was going to come back around, I was like, I'd probably have to start over just to even figure out where I was at. I think I got about 3/4 of the way through it though before I put it down.
All right. So anyway, Last of Us 2 got delayed. I think it might have been yesterday or today. And I'm not going to pull up a tweet or anything, but they said it was a logistical reason. And then later on, Jason Schreier confirmed it. It was not because they weren't done with the game. It was strictly because of physical copies. And so I know that if they would have released it digitally, I mean, they should have, in my opinion, but they would have melted people's brains and melted if they couldn't get a physical copy of that game at the same time everybody else did. But it's supposed to come out in May, and now they've delayed it indefinitely. I think they might have down pushed it all the way to September or something goofy like that.
I mean, if stuff is returning to normalcy, I can see it being like a June or maybe like an August release, possibly. That would make sense. Kind of like that late summer big release that usually comes out.
Yeah.
I guess my question would be is like, is it like because the shipping problems of getting to the product or whatever, getting it out, but it's like, do you think it was a strategic thing like movie theaters where they're like, well, it's not going to sell as good because like most of the stores are closed?
No,
because it seems like, people would still buy it later on. But
no, because games are really through the roof, man. They're selling like crack. That's one of the reasons why GameStop refused to close, because they were actually making money. But I think even if you went digital, because what Steam had the 25 million people on at the same time or some goofy shit like that.
Yeah.
But that physical, man, I've crossed the line. I'm digital all the way now, and so I'm like, y'all just put this shit digital out, and then when physical's done, bring it out as physical. But no, there's the hardliners, man. The people who have to have that physical fucking disc, even though it's only got 10 megabytes on it. It's
a freaking CD key at this point,
Well, they're getting pushback from like the actual retailers and stuff that want to like still sell physical copies. They probably like, hey, if you release a digital, like even when we reopen or whatever, you're gonna cut into our costs as well. Like they want that foot traffic, like Best Buys and Walmarts and stuff, like still places that are still kind of open.
So that's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe they're thinking strategically is like, oh man, we can't screw the retailers because it's just not going to be, but I don't know.
Well,
I'm
they
kind of
can't.
like,
They want
you know.
they want the good relationships for when the console's released. They still have to
Yeah,
keep up
exactly.
that front.
Shit, my Xbox came from Amazon, man. I didn't and I would do that again. But hey, man, you can just we're going to be digital on the next console anyway. Just cloud stream that shit until it actually gets here.
Yeah, man, just get you a Google Stadia and you're good to go.
Oh, jeez.
Just Google Stadia the crap out of it.
Now, I did try the NVIDIA, and it's just I'm one of those people where I can feel lag and like FPS drops and stuff, so it didn't feel right. Like it's just not there to me.
It seems like it'd be okay if you're like maybe a little kid and you just didn't know any better. But it seems like if you're like, like you were saying, you just like, it seems like you would notice it, especially if you're used to it not having drops, that you'd be like something. It'd be like trying to play a mobile game. Like say you're trying to play Fortnite on your cell phone, you're using like a Bluetooth controller. It seems like you would be like, this doesn't quite feel like it would if I was playing it on, say, like a PS4 or something like that.
Well,
like something would be different.
Steve, you can tell the difference when VSync is on and VSync is off, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like double or triple that.
Yeah, now fuck that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those. That's one of the reasons why I don't like PlayStation 3 because it feels like that so much of that shit's built into it. And PS4 is a little slower than Xbox One, but the PS3 versus 360 was really noticeable. But hey, man, they could, had it been less of us too, it's like, oh, well, you could put that shit on PS Now, or you could have freaking just, had that shit ready to go. I mean, that's my opinion. You don't need a disc, but people got to have their collector's edition. It probably has like a freaking $300 collector's edition or some shit. I don't know. And I heard that Square, because they were worried about it, they put Final Fantasy out like a week ahead in Europe and Australia, and so they already have their Final Fantasy physical copies. Why it's not even available digitally or physically over here yet?
Well, Last of Us hasn't gone gold yet. That could be the other issue.
That's what I'm thinking. The Chinese are probably making the shit.
Well, no, even if it's even that's the case, if they're not considered essential businesses, those factories that actually print them onto discs and stuff, that could be a huge issue.
Yeah.
So plus they probably don't have as many workers right now, just in general. So,
Yeah.
Because they're dead.
I'm trying to think about any other games that are no, because there's nothing happening until after E3. Anything else has been indie stuff that was going to release it digital only anyway.
What E3?
Well, I mean, there's still going to be a type
theoretical
of
E3.
They'll put out the new E3. It's E4 now.
Yeah, we've evolved into E4 YouTube launch.
Come
watch these game trailers that we have shortcuts to from the developers' website.
Nintendo was just way ahead of the curve. Everything is just a Nintendo Direct now. They've been planning for this all along.
Did you see the Mark Cerny Game Developers Conference thing they put online?
Look, I get it. It was supposed to be a GDC thing. It made sense for a GDC thing, but that thing was mind-numbingly, it was, even I understood things, and it was still. That needed to be a closed door thing that they did not really like.
Yeah.
And then have Digital Foundry or the tech people break it down for you.
Nope. Gonna get there in front of three. Did the silhouettes start moving? Because a second there, I thought they might have actually animated silhouettes. Just the three fake people, the freaking Mystery Science puppets in the front. I haven't watched any wrestling either. I guess what's WrestleMania? Is that on the night?
It's on tomorrow.
It's
tomorrow,
2 days. No, it's not. Yeah, they're doing it in two different things.
And I got no fucks to give.
I canceled my like WWE subscription like shortly after that last Iran or what is it? Where are they doing them? Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah. That's like my plan was like I've had it since the get-go, and I'm like, as soon as WrestleMania is over, I'm canceling it. And this was like that was my plan back before Royal Rumble, and now it's like, do I even care now? Like I was just going to wait till after WrestleMania just because it's WrestleMania, but I was like, I never watch it, and I'll watch like the pay-per-view things. I'll watch them like later after they happen just for the hell of it. But
yeah,
it's going to be a weird WrestleMania in general because like. I'm not even sure who's there and not there. It seems like every time you look online, it's like, well, this person's not being there, so we've interjected somebody else, and just it's just it's fucked up.
Like it's gotten to the point where I really only cared about like the NXT events because those are, and then like honestly, like I've watched AEW, and like when they went to no crowd shows, the AEW shows are so much more entertaining without crowd, like with no crowds compared to what like WWE is doing. It's like it's not even close.
Yeah, WWE's no crowd is almost like just really weird. It's weird and awkward. But like when you watch the AEW, I love the way that they had like kind of the faces and the heels like in the like on the sidelines, kind of just bullshitting and fucking around. I was like, that's actually kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah, where two of them were acting like they were gambling.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that is perfect. That's how you freaking take that and make lemonade out of lemons. I mean, it's like perfect.
And then they embraced the weirdness too. Like
exactly, it really did. It was like, wow, that was actually entertaining. And of course, the WWE that's like overproduced and over crazy, and it's just it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
They even if they did do that, they would overproduce it. You could tell those guys were just like spitballing. They're doing like whatever the hell they felt like at the moment.
When Chris Jericho dropped a promo on a drone,
Yeah.
Like, and it was great. Like, it was hilarious.
Did you see where they would take those the WWE promos on like Twitter or Instagram and like put music behind them to make them not suck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's done. They need to like just take a break. They're not smart enough to do any kind of thing like Lucha Underground when you do a bunch of vignettes and like even though they have the production team and they could do that, they're just not smart enough to do that.
Well, I mean they've pre-filmed everything through the Raw after WrestleMania right now. They might I can see them doing like recording the one episode of SmackDown and then going on hiatus. I think from what I could see from the last week of AEW, they moved. I think they're using they set up like a ring and some black screens in I would guess it's the Jacksonville Jaguars practice facility, and they're kind of pre-recording everything until they can't.
They need to do it with a green screen so we can make our own wrestling matches later on and battle in space.
That would actually be crazy enough. Cool enough to work. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like AEW just feels a little bit more fresh and on the fly. Like you can just kind of tell they're just like, yeah, we're doing whatever. Where WWE is like, we're overproduced, and when there's no crowd there, it really shows how overproduced everything is. It's just not really entertaining at that point at all. And it hadn't been in a while anyway. But this really, it's like it takes everything away from it.
Nah, yeah, it's been pretty bad for a little bit, and like anytime like something good happens, they find a way to screw it up. I mean, I actually did like the Royal Rumble this year. Like I kind of liked they played the Brock thing and got the crowd heated, and they did it just long enough to where when he finally got eliminated, it made something. And I kind of like the push for Drew McIntyre, and I thought everything they did in that was honestly the best thing WWE has done in a long ass time.
It was definitely the best Royal Rumble they've had in years. And it's like the Brock Lesnar thing. It's like they did it just long enough before it got old. Like it was kind of like, okay, if they do this for 30 wrestlers and in the last two, it's going to really matter. But it's like about halfway through, they're like, okay, it's time to change gears. And it was perfect. And it made sense. And it was like, I thought it was a lot better than previous years of them doing it. And alongside all their other stuff also.
Yeah, it was honestly one of the best things I've seen. Probably, I want to say probably since like last year's Elimination Chamber, where they had that Kofi kind of storyline with Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
I just don't care anymore. I haven't seen it since. I guess they made me change the code or whatever, and I had to get Chad's code back from him to watch SummerSlam. I didn't even do that, so I haven't seen anything in like 3/4 of a year. I just don't care
You're not
anymore.
missing much.
Yeah.
Most of those pay-per-views really started feeling like this could have been a Raw or this could have been a SmackDown. They really kind of fell off in the past year or so. Just like, especially the ones that were just like, No Way Out, In Your House, Electric Boogaloo. You're just like, you'd watch it and be like, I swear they've done these matches on Raw like every Monday since. It's like, who gives a crap anymore?
Yeah. The only interesting thing in probably the past, like besides Royal Rumble in the past since last year's WrestleMania is when like they were kind of forced to interject a lot of NXT guys before Survivor Series. Like when everybody got stranded over in Saudi Arabia and they had that one like SmackDown episode where a bunch of NXT people came over. Like that was like one of the more interesting things that they've done.
Yeah, NXT is almost like a different ball game too. You know what I mean? It's just like, I guess because I don't know if it's Vince doesn't have, maybe he's not as on the control of that one, but it seems like that's what you watch if you want to watch wrestling. It's like the rest of it's just razzmatazz, but that is like, they actually have like some wrestling on NXT. So you're like, oh, it's kind of cool, And then when they get moved up to the main roster, you're just like, well, they're going to screw this up.
Yeah.
It's like very few of them have actually like came up to the main roster and have been worth a damn. It's just like, I would almost, I'm sure they're like, man, we like making more money, but at the same time, you would almost be like, shit, they're going to screw me over.
Did they get rid of Ricochet?
They're
trying to.
Fuck. They buried his ass right after Brock Lesnar beat him, and then it's like, then they had him lose the next week, and then the next, it's like, they
had him lose to the guy carrying that stupid 24/7 championship too.
Yeah, it's like once they did that, I thought they would give him like a good match to like build him back up. Like, oh yeah, he got squashed by Lesnar, but let's put him in something, give him a program to get him back on his feet. No, it's like they were like, well, he's dead now. Just they're done.
Chew him up, spit him out, man.
Yep. Spit him out to AEW.
Yep. Well, he'll probably be better over there. I loved him as Prince Puma. He was freaking great. You can't cut a promo for nothing, but
he didn't need to.
Yeah, AEW would know, like, just don't have him talk, just have him come out and wrestle. Like they would give him like a manager or something.
Yeah.
That's like in NXT. I don't remember him talking that much in NXT. It was kind of more of like, his actions spoke more than words kind of thing, I guess. That's what I remember of him in NXT. So I thought he was great there.
He's Chris Benoit type, man. Just go out there and, murder.
Yep. Greatest kill of all time, Chris Benoit.
Did you see that recent, was it Dark Behind the Map?
I saw it.
Oh yeah, that was really damn good.
Yeah,
I need to watch them. Like I kind of want to watch all of them. So
yeah, I do too. Now I didn't even know that was a thing, but you can see it right on YouTube. So
that's like I watched part of the first season when it came out. Like I'd watched a handful of them. And then when they started hyping the Benoit one, I was like, oh, I want to see that. It was really good. I was like, holy crap. Now I want to go back and watch, what I didn't see of season 1. Like I remember seeing the Macho Man one with Miss Elizabeth in it. And I remember seeing a couple other ones. I think I saw like the Montreal Screwjob, but that Benoit one was really good. It was sad.
Yeah.
Like they leaned into that sad thing a lot, which I guess they had to.
I don't know how else you tell that story.
Well, he was one of my favorite wrestlers because for a little bitty guy, he was just like, God damn. He didn't give a fuck. Went in there straight up against like Scott Norton, who's like 2 times bigger than him, just gonna slap his titty off and shit.
Do you remember back when we used to play like Revenge? You would be like, man, if wrestling was real, Scott. Benoit would be like, kill everybody. And we're like, yeah, if wrestling was real, he could take everybody on and take them out, But that's like, he was awesome. It's just weird. It's like, it's like because WWE's like basically just erased his ass. It's like, it's kind of like you can't find nothing on there. I guess now with the network, there's some stuff he's on, but a lot of that they edited out. Didn't they edit out like that entire match of him and somebody at WrestleMania one year or something?
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I think
The triple threat match or whatever.
I think that's in there. They will just not tell you in the description. It's like, it would say it's like Triple H defends the championship. Well, against who? Against Benoit. If they won't talk, they don't say it, but it was there.
Right.
Unless they've done it
H bids it takes it home, and that's all they said.
Well, yeah, but then they won't have any specials. Like they won't do anything like they won't highlight his matches. But I think Steven's right. I think they left them all in there. You just have to know. You have to know specifically what you're looking for.
Oh yeah, what they're in.
Yeah.
Because I think there was one of the DVDs they edited out, like one of the WrestleMania DVDs that came out back before they had the network. I think there was one that was like specifically short, like they just edited the whole match out, and it was like shortly after that happened, they just there's no main event or something like that. I can't remember. I think there was like a DVD that they just completely cut it out.
Triple H comes down with the title and he loses the title.
He walks out with the title. That's it. It's about the length of the match anyway. So.
Speaking of wrestling, the Gears 5 got the Batista bomb as an execution.
They got all that Microsoft stuff on sale on Steam. He's like, you look at it, it's like, wait a minute, isn't everything up there is already on Game Pass? It's like, why care?
I mean, you know what? It's might as well double dip if you can. Screw it.
It better be like $5. I might buy something then. But anyway, let's see if we can get to talk about Doom Eternal, man. Because you beat it. Have you beat it, Bryan?
No, I'm on the first hell stage.
I don't know what stage I'm on. I beat. It was Super Gore-Nest, and I haven't got the BFG yet, but I have the Batista gun or whatever, a Barista.
The Ballista.
Ballista, yeah.
Right, but you haven't fought a Marauder yet, right?
I haven't fought a Marauder yet.
Okay. Yeah. You, I'm trying to think. Yeah, because you got to do the Arc Complex is where you fight the Marauder the first time.
That's where I'm at right now.
Okay, yeah. The last thing you fight on that level is the Marauder. And for everything you've learned, it takes it and throws it in the trash. He will stomp you. He will stop. And especially when they start throwing Marauders, especially some of the Slayer Gates after that time when they start throwing Marauders at you, with other enemies and in large quantities, it gets brutally hard.
Well, I've heard that the Slayer Gates chat are these bonus things. You have to find a hidden key, and then you have to find a hidden door, and there's 6 of them throughout the game. The way I thought that those were coming out, Bryan, is that you would go back to those after you've done most of the game to get
Yeah, that's kind of what they want. I've just been doing them as I found them, and I feel like it's kind of made me better though.
Yeah.
Because it's made me try and figure out the best ways to take out enemies faster and kind of get through stuff and make me move around a lot more. But because you'll fight a lot of the enemies that come up later in the game. If you don't do those Slayer Gates, you won't see certain enemies till later in the game. I did a Slayer Gate where I fought the Cyber Demon way earlier. I fought the Archvile way earlier than you normally would.
I thought the Cyber Demon in 2016 was kind of goofy. Heck, I'm hoping he's better now, right?
He just shows up kind of as a bullet sponge. He's slow moving,
Okay.
but he deals a ton of damage. If you stay and take some shots from him, you're not gonna last long. You gotta kind of keep moving and pumping in bullets and kind of dealing with the smaller mobs, and then kind of
sounds like Arachnotron to me, man.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, Slayer Gate, they're throwing the Cyber Demon, and then they'll throw 2 Dread Knights or 2 what's the other one?
Baron of Hell?
Well, yeah, a couple Baron of Hells at you, so they're running you down, and they'll throw a carcass or Caracas or whatever. The little Those guys suck. I mean, honestly, the worst thing is like when they throw like an Archvile at you, because the Archvile. You've gotten to a part where they kind of have like the powered nodes where you have to destroy the node, otherwise everything's
Oh, so they soup. That's how he does. He buffs them up.
and he just starts spawning in enemies. So he spawns in the buffed up enemies until you kill him.
Oh, so now in the original Doom 2, and Chad will tell me, the Archvile is the single most dangerous enemy there because he can just look at you, cast a fire on you. You could be running full speed and he'll kill you. He'll hit you with that shit. And so you would have to get something in front of him to make him lose target on you. And so I would expect that, the only way to, if you're even going to have an Archvile in the game, he needs to be that dangerous. So he doesn't just look at you and you melt. He don't have anything like that.
No, I mean, he'll throw a fire at you, and if you get too close, he'll like spawn fire around him, so you can't kind of stand around him and just take pot shots.
Yeah.
And then he'll teleport kind of across the arena, so you kind of have to keep tracking him. And like if like the longer he's up, the more basically high-powered enemies he's spawning. So like he's like becomes like a priority target. Like I'm at a spot like in the first part of Hell where like I clear out a bunch of demons and then he spawns and like I have had trouble tracking him down to kill stuff because he'll start spawning like super powered Baron of Hells and cyber mancubuses and so by the time like you're just wading through all this shit just to try and find him and take him down.
I'm guessing there's no Gauss cannon in this game. I guess the Barista replaced it.
No, I mean you get the BFG. Like you do get.
Well, I mean the way I played. Well, I only played it on Hurt Me Plenty, but I smoked through 2016 like it wasn't nothing, and then pretty much all you needed toward the end was you just needed the Gauss cannon to sniper Barnes and stuff in the face, and then the double barrel shotgun, and everything else was just if you wanted to use it, but you didn't need that shit at all. No. On this game, Chad, they specifically have changed the entire game loop and the enemies that they force you to use pretty much every weapon you got.
Yeah, there's
that's
certain
what I
enemies
heard, that it was like certain weaknesses. Like, it'd be like, this is strong against this person, so you can't just, shotgun blast everything to the face. Basically.
And there was elements of that in even the original Doom. Like, you would like a double barrel was obviously going to be the best way to take out a peaky demon because one shot will take him out. While if you're double barreling with a bunch of chain god guys, while you're reloading, they're just loading your ass up. But they've went out of the way. They class the monsters as like heavies and super heavies. And like if you're a heavy monster, you can't just walk up and chainsaw his ass. It's like and he's gonna have some kind of set weak point. Then you want to use the right gun on. What's the right gun for the Mancubus? I don't really know.
I mean, Mancubus, well, the Cyber Mancubus. Have you followed a Cyber Mancubus yet?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, the Mancubus. There's a couple things you can use the grenade launcher attachment on the shotgun, or you can use the sniper attachment on the assault rifle, whatever the rifle is. And you just kind of take out his two cannons. The ballista will also work. You kind of just take out his two cannons, keep your cannons, keep your distance. Well, the charged up shot on the ballista works really well too.
That's why I put my thing in. I thought that would have been the best thing.
And then the link beam works pretty well on him too. Like it takes a while, but like if you use the link beam on the pulse rifle, it will kind of hold him in place and he won't do anything until like he explodes.
It feels real good, even though it takes like 100 bullets to do that shit on the Arachnotron to get revenge. Because Chad, the Arachnotron is a motherfucker, and he shows up in the first level when you ain't got good stuff to deal with him, and he's like jumping around like an asshole, like dodging your bullets while he's just lighting your shit up. It's like, oh well, you need to snipe his cannon, but he's like far away, shooting the shit out of you, and you have like a shotgun.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you don't buy the grenade launcher attachment for the shotgun, like you're kind of screwed in those earlier levels.
Yeah, there was a point in level 1. I don't know if you remember this. You're going down like the subway or whatever. Eddie got stuck at the same point, and the Arachnotron's in the little subway, and it's like a tight area, and there's some zombies in there or whatever to try to get some gory kills. But he's like, you got to battle this fucking Arachnotron. tight ass space. He's gonna annihilate you. All I did was just run through the shit to get to the checkpoint. It was like, you dickhead. I tried like 10 times to beat him. I couldn't. It was rough, man. And
well, I mean, like honestly, dude, like the Marauder has changed the way I play the game. Like I straight up, like I have one, like I think I have a G502 mouse, so it's got the 2 side buttons. It's got the kind of the mouse 4 and 5, and those I switch to. One of them is the super shotgun, and one of them is the ballista, and it's really only for the Marauder, so I can quick switch it and get more damage into it when he has openings, because it completely. Because you've come across like kind of the like the gore nests that kind of spawn enemies that you have like it's like a challenge time limit stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, like one of those in a later level is you have to kill a Marauder in 30 seconds, and it's batshit insanity.
They're just cheap. They were just like, here you go. You're in a tight corridor, and then we're just gonna put 2 fat mancubuses in the Renovit and like 4 little guys in there, and like, oh, you got 30 seconds. And I think when you're doing the gory kills, it takes them like 2 or 3 seconds to do it. And I think I was failing them just because I would go up for the gory kill, and this time runs out before I kill him, and I'm cussing myself. It's like, God damn it, I gotta kill him because he's flaming orange, though. I have to press the button.
Well, when you do the gory kill, are you still vulnerable, or is it
No,
give you like
you're invincible during it, and there's like little runes that you can unlock that will speed you up, or drop hit extra things when you do them. So you want to do gory kills when you can.
Because I was thinking that's how it was in 16, wasn't it? In Doom 16, it's like you were kind of like invincible for that moment, so you weren't. If you're in a room full of monsters, like you went for it and you'd be okay.
I mean, like the other thing is like is even before you do a glory kill, you'll get the flame cannon on your shoulder, which if you light enemies on fire, they'll drop armor for you. So you're kind of like balancing, okay, this thing's off cooldown. So if you know you're going in for a glory kill, you want to trigger that. That way you're getting health and those and ammo drops at the same time, or armor drops at the same time. Because like armor is like a much more important resource, I feel like, in this game than it was in like 2016.
Yeah, it is. And Chad, that's like there's like this weird kind of, if you just play it normal, even if you're playing good, you kind of play it like the way Painkiller, because the arenas are honestly more like Painkiller or Serious Sam. You will just get your shit wiped because you have to manage your resources. So your flame cannon gets you armor. Like your frost grenade with points in it will get you life back. Your chainsaw will get you bullets, because you don't have enough bullets just from the pickups. You need to leave a little zombie or whatever around so you can come around and chainsaw them. And they just had the chainsaw on a 20-second cooldown. Once I figured out that system, I started getting a lot better. But it was like a punch in the face when I started, because it's like I just wanted to chainsaw the Arachnotron so damn bad, and I never had a freaking enough bullet. And then you had to like have 3 chainsaw ammos or whatever it is. So it's like a waste, really. No, you chainsaw the little guys or set them on fire, and then they're like your resource, and then you pretty much worry about super heavy monsters like the whole time, and the little guys you don't give a shit about. They're just an opportunity to get bullets or something.
Although if you're not moving, the little guys that have like that fire projectiles can still screw you up.
Yeah. They'll charge up a little missiles, or they'll have the flamethrower things on your ass. But you see them much, and I'm like sometimes mashing the R button for the belch or whatever it is, it'll fire belch, and like it's on cooldown. I can't. There's so much shit going on. I can't read to see what's on cooldown. Right? Just kind of like just wing it, man. Just hope it isn't there. Hope it's there when you need it.
I mean, I like out of like kind of like the normal to like I guess kind of the above normal enemies, the Whiplash is probably I cannot stand the Whiplash just because of how much it moves around.
That's the little snake guy that goes on the floor?
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's a dick, man. And then there's on the super shotgun, you got that little grappling hook thing. I'll grapple on his ass, but he'll be below me. I'll grapple up to him, shoot above his head, and he'll get my ass. He's got that one projectile that he shoots, and it's like on the ground, and it's really damn fast, dude. Like, and it's faster than I can, try to dash out or whatever. Yeah, he's a high threat. I've been living off the damn rocket launcher with the homing missile on it, man. It's just
Honestly, the homing missile, and then even the other one, the like kind of the remote detonation, that's super useful too.
Yeah. And I like the little plasma gun. They changed all the what buttons are which though, Chad, and it confuses the fuck out of me. Shotgun's number one because they said fuck the pistol, so there is no
You just start with a shotgun.
Number 2 is chain gun. Number 3 is plasma rifle. Number 4 is a rocket launcher. And that's really fucks me over. Number 5 is a super shotgun, and 6 is the barista, and I think 7's the
is the minigun.
Yeah, the minigun. And I guess 8 would be the the BFG would normally win that on G or something like that on Duke 2016. Hopefully they got one of those.
I don't remember. I mean, you could go in and customize it. But I haven't really done, like, besides putting specifically the ballista and the super shotgun on my mouse just for the Marauder, I really haven't messed with anything. Now, if you do all the Slayer gates and unlock the extra, there's an extra super powered weapon that I haven't used yet that I did unlock, and it's like an amped up version of the minigun. It will just melt people. Well, but it uses the same ammo as the BFG.
Yeah, it's the Unmaker. So, Chad, you remember the alien laser gun from Doom 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't think. See, on Doom 64, Brian, they had 3 hidden levels, and so you would try to find the hidden levels because they had the Unmaker pieces in them. And so when you had the maximum Unmaker, it was just goofy strong because it wasn't like a blow up the whole map thing like the BFG is, but it was just so good with the ammo, and it was like a sniper laser rifle is what it was. But the 3-shot would just fuck things up. And I'm kind of glad that they brought that in. I heard that this one's supposed to be more or less a sequel to Doom 64. I don't know the fucking lore of Doom 64. Just kill the goddamn enemies as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I heard there are makers in there, but I'm like, man, that's like a lot of work to do all 6 of those thingies, and I've done skip like 2 or 3 of them though. So
yeah, no, I mean, it's worth it for me just because you end up getting those combat points to throw into the guns anyway. Because if you complete one, they automatically give you 3 combat points for it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, because it's that tough. And I've done all of them now, and it's definitely made me better.
So you must be right near the end then.
I think basically I have 3 or 4 levels left. Like, okay. I think there's like this 2-part hell level, and then you go to the Con Maker's planet or whatever. Like from the story of that's what I can tell.
Now, did you like all the grappling and shit? Because I've loved it so far.
I like the platform. I think like some of it. My only issue is there are some times where they don't communicate where, like, you can't, like, it's really hard to track down in the environment where you're actually supposed to jump to.
They try to give you the kind of visual clues, but sometimes they change it up enough and it kind of confuses you. But it feels very Tomb Raider, first-person Tomb Raider to me, except with like the jumps, especially with the double jump. It feels like more like Metroid Prime, especially your character being so heavy.
Yeah, like it feels good when you know where you're going and what you're trying to like accomplish. But there's definitely like, I think you'll get to the art complex. There's a section in the art complex where it took me a second to figure out where I was even supposed to jump to, and there's been a couple times where like a wall you can grab onto is kind of just hidden out of the way. And once you figure it out, like it makes sense. But like if you're not like looking directly at it, it's kind of hard to track down in the environment.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a problem with that stuff. I've kind of liked the challenge of like, especially when there's kind of an out of the way one, and you kind of have to make like a series of kind of like executed jumps. Like I watched your video, and you were having a real hard time timing the double jump and the dash on that one part.
I think it was like, I think it might have been the first Slayer key room or something like that. I was one where I'm like, it's like, do I double jump first and then dash, or do I jump and dash and then jump and dash again? And you needed the correct pattern or whatever, or maybe I was doing it too early or too late. It was one that was really, really getting to me. I think another thing is the dash before you get your dash upgraded. It sucks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, the cooldown is way too long on it.
But when you're on the ground, it's almost like practically instantaneous. You just can't just spam it repeatedly.
No, I think the problem, it's like the second. I think you were going for like the second Slayer Gate key. I can't remember the name of the level. It's like when you're tracking down the second Hell Priest, like in the Frozen Planet or whatever, or the Frozen section.
That level is hard as fuck.
Yeah, the big thing you were doing is you were double jumping too soon. You kind of want to like almost start descending. Like there's kind of an arc, and as you're coming out of the arc, that's when you want to hit the double jump. And then you like the dash is also a thing. Is like you can, if you hit the dash just twice super fast, like you'll kind of like not use the first full dash length, so you'll kind of be shortening your dash.
Yeah,
so you almost you gotta get used to like how long that dash actually uses, and not use your second dash until like the end of the first dash.
But I mean, mainly that stuff seemed to be for like out of the way secret bullshit.
Yeah, like the normal level traversal kind of stuff. Except for like I can think of like two sections, and one is definitely an art complex when you're kind of going through some skyscrapers, and there was just one kind of the climbing section where you kind of have to like dash forward and grab it, like that I couldn't see. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward.
I like it. It gives you that Tomb Raider vibe. I mean, it makes your palms sweaty when you do it. That's what I always get with I'm doing the stupidest Tomb Raider shit possible. Oh, my palms sweating. It must be good. But yeah, I think that helps balance out because the damn arena fights are so ridiculous that you needed some kind of like chill time. Because you get the serious sound thing going on where it's like, oh God, do I gotta really fight 75 billion monsters again? And it's like right in the next screen. And so it's paced better. It's paced better in Painkiller too. But I would still say it's closer to those than it is the original Doom, where you go into the area, you kill the monsters, and then it's like a rat in a maze. You really know what the fuck you're doing for the next 20 minutes where you're trying to figure out the keys and the switches the next thing. But there's not much of that there, Chad. There wasn't much of that in 2016 either.
No, that's what I was about to say, because I remember old Doom. It's like you clear out the entire freaking map and you just start looking for places to click on walls. You know what I mean? You'd be like, I know there's a secret somewhere, and you just got to wait till you hear an elevator open or something. But you would like, the enemies would almost be like an afterthought because they'd just all be dead.
Yeah.
Or you'd wait till you heard one somewhere. But yeah, 16 was a lot better at that. Now, like the arena things, is it kind of like Serious Sam where you're just working your way from one to the other? And then you're just in one spot until like they finally stop coming?
They do a much better job with verticality. So they'll have like monkey bars and shit. There'll be like ramps that'll like shoot air through to help you boost, and they'll get you the secret areas. You can't stay in one spot for anyone. I found a place, Bryan, on that ice level. It's way up where some armor was. So I'm like, I'm going to be a dickhead. I'm going to be Eddie. I'm going to hide up here and shoot the monsters. They literally spawned a fucking fat mancubus on top of me because they knew I was hiding. It was like, really? You guys are doing this shit to me?
Yeah.
But you have to keep moving. And as you're moving through the level, you'll figure out kind of cool loops, and you'll see ammo or stuff is like, and you have to find a way to get there, but you can't stop and look because that's when they're right going to try and beams down on your ass and get you.
Yeah, and like so it's similar into like Doom 2016 where you kind of get into like you'll enter an area and you're like, okay, this is obviously going to be a combat arena, and like if you look at the map, they like you're going to be able to see it. Yeah, they'll straight up tell you, and so it kind of locks down like you progressing until you clear out that combat arena. Now the difference is 2016, based on the old id Tech 6 engine, there was actually an enemy limit. I think you can only get like 9 enemies on screen at once because of the mega textures and stuff, the way that engine was coded. And they redid the engine, and like it takes up a lot less space than 2016. 2016 was like 60 or 70 gigs. This is only just over like 4. It's right at 40.
It was 100 on fucking Xbox, man. I guess we did the multiplayer shit.
Yeah. But so like they're spawning a lot more enemies than you even faced at one time in 2016.
Yeah. But they still do this way where, oh, we're only going to put like 2 arachnotrons. You kill those 2, and then we're going to send like the Renovids, and there's a wave sequence to them. And I remember I was fighting the first boss, and I was able to, I knew if I took him all the way out to his second life bar or whatever, so I was like, I'm going to lead him right at that inkling so I could get my shit. But you could game it to a point. But the super shotgun is still cool. It doesn't seem like it's just broken bullshit like it was in 2016. Because once you modded that thing in 2016, it was like goofy. It was goofy insane.
Yeah, didn't it have like exploding shells or something like that? I can't even remember.
I just remember it was so fast. Was there 2 of them? I can't remember if there was 2.
I can't even remember.
I think there was 2. One of them was like exploding shells, like it was like shrapnel that exploded afterwards or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember like once you got that, it was kind of like that was your go-to. That was like your worker.
Well, I mean, you didn't really have to worry about ammo in that game.
Yeah,
like, that was kind of the like you definitely can't do that in here. Like you have to worry about ammo at all times.
You only got like, what is it? What's the start? 20 shells? I think it's 20 shells. Or no, it might be 16. So
yeah.
So 8 shots of super shotgun and you're done, and you're gonna melt through that in like 2 seconds. And so then you could get little upgrades. And there's the upgrade system is awesome. There's almost too much shit going on. I got it figured out, but so you can upgrade the runes, the special runes. You get 3 runes that give you special abilities. You can upgrade your max armors and stuff. And with the cooldowns, what's that system called? You know what that system's called? With the 2 things? It's like.
Oh, okay. So there's the relics. The runes are like, I think the runes are the like the 3 special abilities. Then there's the relics where you get special abilities if you unlock both of them. Like one of them, the relics also upgrade your like health, ammo, and
I went for ammo
shield.
first.
Yeah, like what I learned is you kind of want to get those actually. You kind of want to finish one of those, like saying like the shorter respawn or the shorter recharge on the flame
belt.
Yeah, that was super. And then like the tokens. I can't even think what the tokens are called. Like the armor
Praetor tokens. They were
the Praetor tokens.
I've invested first into auto map a little bit to try to get, it'll let you see the secrets better. And then I went pretty much I'm all ice grenade right now because it seems like to be the best oh shit button I got. And it's got a long cooldown. I think there's something that makes the cooldown a little bit better. But that thing just ice grenade them motherfuckers, then set them shits on fire, then like shooting them and like ammo and armor pops. I mean everything pops out.
Well, yeah, and the regular grenades are good too. Like there's an upgrade on the Praetor where you can fire 2 grenades before it has to recharge, or like once it explodes, it shrapnels off into smaller grenades that also explode. So that's super helpful. Oh, by the way, the super shotgun for the upgrades were faster reload, like it cut it down by 40%. Uranium coating, so the pellets penetrated multiple enemies, and then when you did a mastery, you could fire twice before reloading.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and you would only use 1 shell, but it would count as like 1 shell per shot, but it would count as the same damage as using 2 shells.
Yeah, that's what I remember it being like really kind of overpowered. I think that's the part I remember about it.
So you just get point blank range, then fucking mancubus or anything else, and fuck them up. Wow, it's still decent in this game, mainly because of that hook thing. And I might go back. I've been trying to kill the enemies because you have to kill like 50 enemies by the hook, right? To get the mastery, to get the armor shooting thing. I might go back level and just run with a super shotgun, kill them little zombie shitheads until I get that damn thing.
No, it's super useful, man, because the flame hook lights the enemy on fire. So when you actually get to them and fire at them, they're gonna drop armor for you without having to use the shoulder cannon. So,
and then I got the relic that gets the sucks in the items when you get close. Because I wanted to make sure I didn't have to stop and collect everything. As soon as I chainsaw the guy, I want all the toys to jump into me. And so I maxed that out. But you need all that shit, Chad. You need your freaking your flame cannons, you need the grenades, you need all of it to keep your resources built up. And I think even probably on Hurt Me Plenty, because I've heard people that tell them that you're getting their ass kicked on Hurt Me Plenty. I'm like, wow, it's some rough shit.
I mean, like ultra violence, like I think I've read on Reddit and other places the quote of like in Dark Souls you're trapped in the arena with demons. In Doom 2016 the demons are trapped in an arena with you, and it's not that way.
No, that's done.
Yeah. Like and like all of the enemies, like they redid the AI. They're super aggressive. Yeah. Like they're super aggressive, and they will dodge shots and they will move, and like you kind of have to, you only like, even with moving you'll get trapped in corners sometimes and just get pummeled by people.
This is where you're going to hope your oh shit button, your chainsaw or your freaking grenade or something is off cooldown. Drop that shit down. No, that's rough as hell, and I'm not dropping down my damn difficulty. I'm a hard ass like that. But this is hard. You know, at least on something like, say, even the absolute ridiculous shit in old Doom, like Final Doom Plutonium, which is insane. You would at least could abuse your down quick save or whatever. No, you get decent checkpoints here, but it's like, nope, you get the checkpoint at the beginning of the arena and at the end of the arena. So find a way to live through all this stupid shit we're going to throw at your ass. And when you're not going to have enough help laying around, you got to make some help.
Well, I mean, that's why they put the 1-up system. But like, I'm at a point where I almost never have any 1-ups by the time
I don't have them
like,
either.
Yeah.
They'll give me a 1-up when I'm trying to figure out some stupid shit with bottomless pits, and I fall in the pits and lose my 1-up. Chad, there's a difficulty that is only like if you don't have enough 1-up, man. What's that thing? It's almost like an Iron Man kind of damn thing.
I think it's called extra life mode.
Yeah, it's like, if you run out of 1-up, man, you die. I mean, the game over. Kind of like Wolfenstein, but without quick saves. It's like freaking bullshit.
It's like you just don't die, basically.
You just better not die. You better not.
I got you.
Well, then there's the Ultra Nightmare where if you die once, it's game over.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, that's some sort of retarded shit. At least it probably won't be as insane as regular. Well, not regular Doom Nightmare would be no problem, but some of the other, they didn't balance their old Dooms for Nightmare, and so their enemies respawn after about 8 seconds or whatever it is, and so you would be almost a near impossible thing if you didn't speed run it to beat the levels. But I bet you this shit's probably pretty damn rough too. One fuck up, you're dead.
Well, and then they also have the master levels this time, where it's just they'll take levels and then just spawn way harder enemies way earlier in the game.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's only 2 right now. There's the
oh, they're gonna add some, or
yeah, they're gonna it's kind of part of like their update to keep people coming back and doing those like weekly challenges and stuff.
You see, that's what made Ninja Goddamn Black so good, is like, if you were a real hard ass and wanted to keep going to your Master Ninjas or whatever, if you went back and played it, you start back at chapter 1, but they're throwing crazy shit at you right from the get-go. But, I think this is a damn 10 out of 10 game, man. It's freaking great. It's makes me lose my mind cussing, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it's the most fun I've had playing. Like it takes everything that like Doom 2016 did well, and kind of like another post I saw on Reddit, they compared it to it being basically like a Devil May Cry action game where like you're constantly trying not to drop your combo, and if you drop your combo in this, you just fucking die. That like there's a literal kind of like a rhythm that you get into with the combat, and juggling your resources and switching to guns and knowing what I need to take off, I need to eliminate the Mancubus's cannons real quick, or I need to take out the Arachnotron cannon, and then that way I can deal with the Pinky that's constantly running me down.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's a good solution to his ass in this game. He drove me nuts in 2016 because I tried to double jump over him. He'd always get me. You freaking just freeze grenade his ass. He's done, man.
Oh yeah. Well, also the even if he's just like staring you down, the remote detonation, you just fire a rocket. So you just wait till it's like just goes a little bit past his back and trigger it, and so it staggers him a little bit, and you can just kind of keep doing that.
Yeah, I just haven't had much time to play it because, and Eddie was the same way. I seen Eddie playing it today. We both got it day one, but got stuck on Monster Hunter. Couldn't stop playing that shit. But
Well, I
actually wanted to find the secrets in this game. On Doom 16, I beat it in like 8 hours and never touched it again.
Well, I mean, with me, like the way I've been doing it is I've been kind of holding it till the weekend, and then I've only really been playing like I get through one level a session, and like I might play like maybe 2 sessions in a day, but like after I get through a level, I was like, I got to take a break. Like I need to like calm down. Like I need my nerves to calm down. Like I need to reset my thinking because it's really intense. Like like it reminds. Did you ever play that? Did I get you to play Devil Daggers?
I did. I've seen that. This reminds me more of Robotron 64. I don't know if you ever played a Robotron, where you're not. That. There's just, and honestly, Brian, if you put the original Doom, and you went to the auto map, and I think you type in IDDT or something like that, that brings up the enemies and puts them as little arrows in the map. It's like playing it's literally like playing Robotron, where you got the double axis and everything shooting you, or bullet hell, like Geometry Wars would be a modern Robotron type game. But this game's like that, except with all of the vertical arenas and jumping around and shit, and you need to worry about your flame grenades and your cooldowns and all the other crap you need to worry about. So it's like a lot of shit going on, and it's like until you get it, you're just gonna die over and over again.
No, I'm really enjoying it. Like it's it's the best thing Bethesda's put out. Like Wolfenstein was good, but then Wolfenstein 2, I kind of felt like the story stuff was there, but the actual gameplay was a little bit of a step back. This is actually
it was too goofy.
Yeah, this is actually kind of like, this is the first like I know it's id and not really Bethesda, but this is the first Bethesda game in a while where the sequel is like an actual step forward. Like they didn't kind of dumb it down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like where like Oblivion had way more options and ways to tackle problems than Skyrim. Skyrim
ended up. Morrowind was way more involved than Oblivion.
Yeah,
it's like they're on a downward slope. The fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least in Oblivion, every quest didn't end in a and like you going into the same dungeon and fighting a bunch of Draugrs to get the guy's painting back. Well, I had a family heirloom stolen, and like the thieves ran off. I was like, better fight a bunch of Draugrs.
Well, they've been exposed now, but if you really look back, a lot of Bethesda games were weak from gameplay perspective. It was just a humongous world. It was an amazing world how big it was, and then you get immersed in it. You get really immersed in the music and the graphics and all of the talking to people and stuff. But if you look at it as a game, I mean, those games suck. That's just all I have to say. And then you got Fallout 76, which I haven't played, but I just meme 76. I played Fallout 4 and I was thoroughly unimpressed. Thoroughly.
I didn't finish Fallout 4.
I never did finish it either. It's like I would it was almost like playing Grand Theft Auto in a way where you would be like, oh, there's main missions, and you just end up going off and doing other stuff. I remember like I'd forgot all about like the whole main mission at some point in Fallout 4. It was like, I'm just going to go out here and explore. And you'd explore and you get bored and you'd be like, I'm done. I don't even know how far I got into the actual main mission of the game.
Yeah, it's just word on the street. They might have tried to do Starfield this year. They're definitely not going to now, I don't think. I think that Michael Proctor thought that, Elder Scrolls 6 was going to come out. Apparently, he don't fucking pay attention to Bethesda at all. That Elder Scrolls is years away. Starfield is going to come next. And they got some shit to freaking catch up with, man. Bad.
They would have shown Starfield at E3 this year, but it wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have been this year.
Yeah.
Like
They're not even going to do a dang Bethesda Direct. They gave up on that shit too. They must be real bad.
I mean, Rage 2 didn't really I don't even know like what that ended up being. I know people were disappointed in it based on
that's all I remember. It was just it came and went, and it was like, this sucks.
I played Mad Max, which was by the same people, and Mad Max was awful. I thought it was awful. Here's a giant open world, and there's nothing going on. And I bet you the same thing in Rage 2, where if you probably was, I think because it actually worked on their gunplay, and so the guns felt interesting to use. But you're in that terrible open world bullcrap that that they felt was compulsory, and it isn't at all. But yeah, Rage 1 sucks, and you know that, Brian. I told you not to play that shit.
I never finished it. It's in my long pile of I'm never going back to it.
Fuck it.
It's like I was going to get Doom, but then I saw Resident Evil 3 was coming out, and I was like, oh, I think I'll play it. And from what I can tell, it's not very long. So I figure when I get done playing it, I'll probably grab Doom Eternal.
Yeah. Doom. I think I've left Doom up for a little bit, maybe at one point, but like it says I've put 16 hours into it, and I still have time left, and I haven't even touched any multiplayer.
Yeah, some people, if they're doing everything, it's something about 25 hours. But Resident Evil 3 is apparently 5. But my thing about that is I'm planning to play that through on first of all, I'm gonna do it on hardcore, just like with Resident Evil 2, and get my ass kicked. But then we'll figure out what to do. Then we'll beat it, and then I think there's like a no mercy mode, Chad. That's what I heard. I think they call it Nightmare. And then there's like something where as you play through, you can use points to like buy key items or something right from the get-go to change the way you would go through the campaign. That sounds interesting to me too. It's like, oh, could you buy a spade key or something like right from the get-go? It would change the game a lot. We'll see how that works.
That's what I was wondering about. Because I was like, it's like I could see how that would change a lot of things up if you can buy bolt cutters right from the get-go. Depending on where you need them in this game, I guess. But I thought that was, at least it's something, as opposed to, I'm surprised they didn't do like a Jill campaign and a Carlos campaign, but I'm guessing from what I've seen, it's Carlos has like his own moments. You use him kind of like you did in Resident Evil 2. Yeah.
No. In Resident Evil 3, it was the same way. You only used him for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I've got no interest at all in Project Resistance.
I'll give it a shot, but I don't really expect much from it.
Yeah. I think they might have been originally trying to do those games as 2 different games, but I'm glad they did them as 1. But I think they did them in 1 because split together, they're just not going to be worth the value, and this probably should have been the $30 game. That's the way it's seeming like, because you already had the engine. A lot of the assets in Resident Evil 2 were just reused, and that was the way the original Resident Evil 3 was. Is that this should probably be just like a $30 game, but nope, we gotta get to 60, and I hope it's good. So Jim Sterling likes it. I don't know if that means anything to anybody.
Well, it's like I've heard it's good. It's just short, and that's fine with me. I mean, it's like if something's fun and it's short and I can get like maybe 2 playthroughs out of it, I'm good to go. It's like that's all I need. That's like on Resident Evil 2 remake. By the time I did like both scenarios with both people, basically 4 playthroughs, I was like, I'm done with this game. It was fun, but it's like I didn't need to play it anymore after that. I
think I got close to 40 hours in the damn thing.
I think I put somewhere around 20 in it by the time it was all said and done. 20 is probably like less than 30. I mean, it was fun. The scenarios were different enough. Like, there'd be a couple different guns or something, but it made it interesting enough to make it different.
Yeah. But, hey, there's so much shit going out. I mean, I would have lost my night. I'm getting Neo 2 on PC. I'd already decided, but otherwise, I'd have been losing my mind over that shit. All that stuff came out at the same time.
I mean, Ori. I still have Ori sitting there.
Yeah, and then had Final Fantasy VII been a real complete game instead of some bullshit, I'd have been all over that too.
And just wait, when the PlayStation 7 comes out, you can get like part 2 to Final Fantasy 7. Because God knows, it's like I don't even expect that to be out until like PlayStation 5 halfway through gen or something. That's just the way Square is.
Did you play Star Wars Fallen Order last year?
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What did you like it?
I thought it was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be, especially for an EA game.
Yeah.
It was like I only played through it once. I didn't really feel a need to go back and play through it again because I don't even think it had New Game Plus. I don't think, because I guess if you had all your abilities, you could shortcut everything. But I thought it was really good for what it was. I was surprised at how good it was, really.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed it, and like it was a good 25 hours, I think. Yeah. And I think I played it on the second highest difficulty, which I felt was kind of right. And so it was enough a challenge. I mean, some of that last boss fight was kind of, I had to cheese it just because it was bad.
Yeah. But it was interesting at least.
Yeah. And like some of the enemies were cheap as hell in that game though.
Yeah. Well, that's like I started off playing it like on the assisted mode just because I was like, I just wanted something to like. I started playing it after I was playing Resident Evil, and I was like, I just want something mind-numbing that I can just play and not really pay attention to, like before I go to bed. And then about like halfway through, I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm bumping it up to like a higher difficulty because I was like, this is too easy. I wanted something I didn't have to think about when I was doing it because even though you had like, it's kind of like Metroid style where you had to find where you were going, it was pretty easy to figure out where to go. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like secretive where it's like they had secrets, but it wasn't like, oh crap, I've got to go around this planet for an hour to figure out what little thing to go do.
Well, it kind of had one of the best like mini maps in a game.
Yeah,
like
it really did.
Yeah. And then I figured it out later, but like if there's a secret in that mini map, it will tell you, and it will tell you if you found it. Like I found that out later. You could go to like actually the subsections of the mini map to see if there's a secret.
I don't even remember noticing that.
Yeah, it took me forever when I was going through and trying to find like the actual upgrades like that mattered. But like if you go highlight a certain portion, it will tell you if like, okay, here's like there's this many chests and then there's like this many like secret locations or whatever.
It's like I played it. I think I played it after. I can't remember if I finished that before or after the last Star Wars movie came out, and I was like, this is actually better than the newer Disney movies. I was like, this is actually, I actually was more invested in that guy's character and BB-8 and all that. I was like, that was actually more entertaining as a story. And like I said, to come from EA, I was just shocked. I just figured it'd be something half-assed that they just throw out there. But it was really fun. I like the fact that you could tell what you could do and could not do by looking at the map on it. Like you'd be like, oh, this is yellow now. I can go, or no, was it green? I think it was stuff would turn green. You could be like, oh, I can go do this now with whatever ability I got. But it was pretty fun, especially figuring out the little tactics to, take out certain enemies easier, especially once you got that force pull and attack, whatever it was. The one where you could pull them and basically stick a lightsaber in them right away. It's like once you got that, you could just start thinning out enemies right away. And that was my go-to, was that move right there.
Yeah, but Steve, like that's a game you need to probably add to your list.
It was it was surprisingly how fun it was. I did not expect much, and I was like, this is. In fact, I remember what it was. I just got done playing through Resident Evil 2 Revelations. I started going back through raid mode, and you know how intense that crap was. And I was like, I can't sit here and play raid mode on Revelations 1 and then try to go to bed. I will never go to sleep because I'd get so freaking annoyed that some of that, you're trying to play a level down so you get all the credit stuff, and that first raid game was it get tense.
You need a palate cleanser every once in a while. You can't freaking do Dark Souls every day. You'll lose your mind.
Well, that's I remember that's why I was like, why am I playing this on like the lowest difficulty? And I'm like, that's what it was, because I remember raid mode. I'd played through it on 360. And then I'd gotten it for the Switch because I needed something to play on my Switch after I beat the Link's Awakening game. So I just went back to something I'd already played. But yeah, it was like one of those, like you start getting through that raid, it's very grindy, to get your levels up and try to get, all the points and everything by playing down levels. And it was that would kind of get on your nerves after a while.
Well, if I want to put it into the podcast anyway, but it's been real good talking to you guys about the old Doom Eternal. I think, Chad, we'll try to do another podcast about the older Dooms. We'll probably need to narrow it down or some shit because, good God, that would be like 7,000 hours. But yeah, this has been real good. All right, guys.
All right.
Well,